Hi there, Steve Coffin, day 13. Very busy now with my hockey tournament and so forth. And of course, tomorrow morning, I have to take my wife to the hospital for 6:30, so I have to get up quite early. And then I have to pick her up. It's basically a bunion operation. It's not a big deal, except that she will be sedated. And it's very painful, apparently, and remains painful. And so for her, it'll be a long period of before she'll be able to get back on her 2 feet. But of course, my team is concerned about the game. We have a game at 12:45, and it'll be touch and go as to whether I can get her home and then get to the rink in time for the game. One of the guys suggested that I take her to the game and use the HOV, high occupancy vehicle lane. That was a joke, by the way. We all laughed in the dressing room. My wife laughed too, but I'm not sure she appreciated the joke. So, no, I can't do that. So, very busy these days with that going on, and of course trying to stay on top of my Korean. Someone asked, how much do I listen? Like, I'm listening to this podcast. It's about people abusing Twitter, this guy abusing Twitter, retweeting stuff, setting up bots to retweet and put pressure on people, and that this was in violation of the election campaigning regulations in Korea. And so this Kim Jong-bae had two people on representing two different points of view. Very civilized discussion, very interesting. How much do I understand? When I read it, having now looked up all the words, I understand it. When I listen to it, my comprehension drops down to about 50%. However, I am getting the rhythm of the language. I'm getting the rhythm of the structure of how they say things. And I'm full of this confidence that I will eventually be able to speak with that rhythm and use the words the way they use them, even though my comprehension isn't quite there. So I've listened to it now 6, 7, 8 times because I want to try to get better at this particular text. But I'm now at the point where it's too boring, so I'm going to move on to a new text, create new links, and do the same with it. And over time, the same structures, the same patterns, some of the same words will come back at me, and I am confident that I will get better. And I should make a confession here. I'm not a big fan, for example, of when I go into that bookstore, I could, like Moses, have a camera on my head and try and say something in Korean to the sales lady and get the usual compliments on my Korean and stuff. But I know that I'm not that good, and I give the impression that I'm good, but in fact I'm not. And so I'm not that interested in doing it. I would rather wait till I have a better level of comprehension, and then I have meaningful discussions with people. So that's why I haven't done that. I may go and visit my friendly dry cleaner and speak in Korean later, but it's not a big priority for me. One other quick thing to touch on, again, I'm confessing on things here. People ask me, have you used Glossika? Glossika, this is Mike Campbell, I think, who lives in Taiwan or lived in Taiwan, who speaks beautiful Mandarin and a number of other languages, and has developed a system which seems to be very popular. And have I tried it? And the answer is no, I haven't tried it. I am not tremendously motivated. That's not to say that it doesn't work, that it isn't good. It all depends on your goals. But apparently he has developed 3,000 sentences in these different languages. And if you study these sentences through some system, presumably some kind of spaced repetition system, then now you have these structures, these sentences, we have vocabulary, and you are ready to speak. I have a limited amount of time that I can spend on language learning. I would rather listen to this interesting content. I'm learning about issues in Korea, a little bit about the culture, how they defend themselves. And I was just curious. I looked up my statistics, and I have read 270,000 words in Korean. Probably I have listened to an equivalent amount. That's an awful lot. If the average sentence is 15 words long, if we can round the two, I'll be at 300,000. So that's whatever it is, 20,000 sentences that I've been exposed to. Now, I haven't practiced them so that I can then regurgitate them, but that is not my goal. My goal is to get to where I can comprehend. So I have this at least passive vocabulary of 35,000 words, which I wouldn't achieve if I focused on just being able to reproduce 3,000 sentences. That's not to say that that isn't a good thing to aim for if that's what your goal is. So I think the key thing in language learning is to enjoy what you're doing, spend the time at it, do the things that you like to do those things that meet your goals. So I have my goals, studying here in Vancouver, If I lived in Korea and I had a more urgent need to be able to speak well in the language, I might take a different approach. I might, in fact, look into the Glossika approach. So, thank you. Bye for now.